cut.
Leroy, what is a belief that you have that many people would disagree with?
Okay. I have a few definitely. So my first one actually is celebrating birthdays and Christmas. As a kid, I enjoyed celebrating birthdays. Like, I got excited and whatnot, like a week leading to my birthday and especially Christmas. But
Mm.
I think as I've gotten older, I'm just like, it's just really another day. And I kind of dislike the attention on me on my birthday, especially. And Christmas, yeah, Christmas for me now is just really a time to hang out with family and get pissed, really. I don't
It's
really
just
like,
some time off work.
yeah, and it just crawls up quick. How quick does it crawl up nowadays? It's like
Oh man.
1 year in January, all of a sudden, like you're hearing like Christmas songs and then like Christmas tree. I'm like, I wouldn't say I hate Christmas, but I just like, I'm indifferent. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's not all this grand thing that people see it
I
as.
mean,
And yeah,
I totally agree with you. Like my view on those types of, I guess, big celebrations is, well, why celebrate on just a few particular days of the year? Why wouldn't I just live that way every day of the year?
mm,
Why do I need this particular time to be told, all right, yeah, cool, we can have a fun time and do cool things, Christmas, Easter, birthdays, whatever. Why don't we do the same thing every day or every weekend?
yeah, presents every goddamn day.
Exactly. Like, I guess as I get older, anything that I want, I just buy straight off the bat.
Yeah,
So there's no big hype about getting things that you might have wanted for a while. Because if I want something, I'll just buy it. Like every
yeah.
day is Christmas for me.
That's the way to live, brother. Every day is Christmas. Yeah, and also yeah, birthdays. Like, yeah, it's fun. Like to just like maybe go out with some mates or like grab a feed, but I think that's about it. Like if anyone like like how it's back in school, it'd be like your birthday, and then like everyone's like
Mm.
happy birthday, and everyone's like looking at you, and like I used to be like, oh, stop.
Yeah.
But
And he's kind of like just sitting there like awkward, like squirming a little bit, like,
yeah.
oh, I don't like being the center of attention that much.
Yeah, exactly. Just I like to be more in the background. Um,
Yeah.
and all right, so what are some other things? So a big one, probably pretty common amongst people our age. Like I feel like religion is a bit outdated and like yeah, growing up in like a Catholic system, I would say I was mainly a Catholic just by more by like birth. Like I feel like which
Yeah,
a lot of people
more
are
by
like.
default.
Yeah. And nowadays, as I can think more to myself and not really have to go to church as much and whatnot, I just maybe I find love for it as I get older, but just right now, it's not a present thought in my foremind at all.
So, do you think that religion is slowly being phased out?
Um, it's a hard one to say because I guess we just live in such a we like well, we live in Australia and New South Wales, like what's that, 6 million, oh it's me New South Wales, 6 million people, and they're the ones that I have like I can understand, but and then the world's got what 7 billion people. Like I can say within my social group and like the my wider group, it probably is being phased out, but I can't say that completely to the whole world because I think it's still very like prevalent thing. Like people still going to church as it's definitely a thing, but it's definitely I'm noticing a change. Like like religion isn't so heavily involved in politics
Yeah.
anymore. Like it's not as ingrained as much. And also just science is like really disproving a lot of things. And as you can see, like there's just a lot of things that are happening because of religion. And then some people just say one religion is bad, but and then you look back like 100 years and like the same religion did similar things. And like, yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't really have the time for it. And I don't really want to put my energy towards religion. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
What about you in that?
I just think that, yeah, like growing up, we would go to, church and go to mass every once in a while. But then as we started to get a bit older, it started to drop off a little bit. I think it was very important for my parents because it was important to their parents. But then I think as we as kids started to not be kids anymore, we started to move away from it. And like the push wasn't there as much. I think maybe because there wasn't the push from their parents as much anymore. Because,
Yeah.
I don't know, I think the times are changing. Our generation, I don't think that places the same emphasis on religion anymore.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, another thing, I guess, is another belief is buying souvenirs. And I know people love to buy souvenirs, and I get why people buy souvenirs as like a little gift, as a little like, oh, I was thinking of you, but man, I just don't like. It's not something that comes across my mind that when I'm traveling, and like it's just like, okay, cool, I can buy this person a little beer opener, and like what they're gonna look at it on fridge magnet. It's gonna be in the fridge, and then it's just gonna sink down and disappear in the depths forever. Like what I would prefer as like as my souvenir to people is just to tell them my experience and like show them my photos and be like, go there. That's my
And
souvenir.
it's the whole process of getting that thing home. Like
Yeah.
I hardly get home, let alone this little like picture card I bought from some little shop in the middle of France. Like
Yeah, exactly. I fully understand it, and I appreciate sometimes when people buy me souvenirs, but just personally, it just doesn't. Maybe I don't know. I don't think it's like, I wouldn't say I'm selfish, but it just doesn't correspond with me. Like I just don't see it as that important. Therefore, I normally don't buy souvenirs, and really, it's just like another product that just goes to waste. Yeah.
And like I know that my sister would totally disagree with this.
Yeah.
She would say, no, souvenirs are the most important part of traveling. Like if you don't bring her back something from traveling somewhere, she'll be visually annoyed at you. And she will bring everyone home their own little tailored souvenir.
Yeah.
And it just shows how I know me and her are very, very different. But also I don't think many people would have that same opinion.
Yeah.
So I've got one for you.
What's that?
I'm a big advocate of not using any metrics to measure food ingredients. It's all like I would guess everything. Like, when I'm making a coffee in the morning, I just grab a whole jar, take the lid off, tip in some coffee, and put the lid back on, and then away you go.
Yeah.
And when I'm making pancakes, I'm just free pouring all of that flour, and I guess 2 eggs will go in good there. Yeah, 3 bananas, that'll work. And I'd use that with every bit of cooking I ever do. I've never measured anything. And I feel like a lot of cooks would be like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. I'm exactly on the same boat as you. Like, what I do, I just look at it like ingredients list. I'm like, okay, yeah, sick. I'm like, all right, I kind of got an idea. And then now it's my time. Like I see my cooking as my creative time. So I add a bit of this spice, add a bit of this. A lot of people can vouch to this one. Shouts out Maria. She's seen me just spice things up and add my own flair to everything. And yeah, man, like I don't even understand like an ounce or like, I'm just like, what? Like tablespoon and teaspoon, like I'm still like, oh yeah. Like, I still sometimes get confused which one's which. And I'm just like, man, I don't care. Let me just put in. And like, even like when things are saying, oh, a recipe is like buy like 200 grams of meat and like putting in like 200 grams of pasta or whatever. I'm like, nah, man, I'm hungry as like,
yeah, I'm gonna eat.
Let's top this thing up. Like, go.
I know there was one point when I was making a specific sauce for this brisket, and it sounded like it had specific measurements. Like it had like random numbers. I was like, fuck it, this sounds pretty precise.
Yeah.
And the only thing I had to gauge as to how much I could measure was next to me was a full pickle jar that was like 250 mils. So I just kind of like, I guess like half a pickle jar. So I'm just kind of pouring and being like, that's probably half a pickle jar. And that was the closest thing we had in the house to a measuring cup, a full pickle jar.
Hey, did it
So,
taste nice?
man, I'll tell you what, I make some pretty ripper meals,
Yeah,
and I don't measure anything. So I don't think I'd really change much. Every single meal tastes different.
that's it. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You know, you want your taste buds to keep on fire. Guess what sort of spice you added a bit extra of and
Yeah.
whatnot.
I've
Yeah.
tried to tell some of my patients some of my recipes, and I'm like, yeah, it's just a bunch of flour, a few eggs, and some bananas, and you know a couple of other little things. And like, oh, how much? I'm like, just make it. Just I don't know, just pour it, stir it, and get the right consistency. You know what a pancake looks like.
100%.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
here's another one. I know that we're both big fans of op shopping.
Mm.
You know, Vinnie's, any kind of secondhand recycled clothing stores. Do you think that many people would share that same opinion?
Once again, similar to what we were just saying, or I was saying before, like in our circle, actually, even in our circle, I feel like 50-50, 60-50,
Mm.
60-50, 60-40. Like, but and
Yeah.
then I think people just generally don't like to wear other people's used things. And we like Sam and I, we used to go to the gym every day pretty much. And then after we'd always do a drive-by of our local Vinnies. And
Those three, it was like, and they went in a cycle fashion too.
yeah.
It was like one day it was that one, the next day it's the other one, and that one. And then usually by that time, it's like, yeah, they've replenished all their supplies.
And like a common thing, like once we walk in and walk out, now things are, oh fuck, it's pretty shit collection today, hey. And I wonder when they restock. Remember we always like, oh, I think like maybe they restock on Wednesdays or something. I just trying to anticipate. But yeah, dude, op shopping, I love it. Like, what's that saying? Like one man's trash, another man's treasure. That stands by
Yeah.
so true. And like I wouldn't op shop underwear, but like cool shirts and cool jackets. Like I've picked up so many cool
Yeah.
jackets and like people have
Yeah.
complimented them. I'm like, oh yeah, from Vinnie's. They're like, oh what?
It's like $10. And you're like,
Yeah.
what?
It's so
It's been weird not I haven't been to one in ages because of COVID.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know if they're open. I don't think so.
I know the one
But
like in our
they're not
area
here.
is closed, and they full on like put like barriers because I guess people are just dumping stuff there. They're like, this is not a dump site. Like surveillance
Yeah.
cameras, like yeah. So that one's not open yet, but I'm keen to do a few drive-bys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and
Look,
possibly yeah. Adding on to that, Vinny's, I guess another belief, a more recent belief, is like minimalist approach to life, and we've discussed this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just generally, I think a lot of people just hoard stuff. Like even like souvenirs, like you're just buying shit for the point of buying shit that you don't use. And like I'm trying to take a more minimalist approach in life. Like for example, like I shed my wardrobe just because of like those Vinnie's op shop buys and just buying random cotton on stuff like that's like, oh, it's sick. And then I wear it once and then it's just like just chilling in my room forever. So like I'm
Yeah.
really trying to change my habits of buying things when I need and like also maybe buying things of quality and like maybe more ethical things
Yeah.
just so yeah, because like I feel like most people and even me even now like I have certain clothes that I wear consistently and then I just have things that I chuck on every now and then some
Yeah.
things that I just never throw on and we actually don't really need that many clothes like if you really think about it. So I think
Man,
that's another belief.
I'm a creature of habit. Like a normal week, I can wear like the same set of work clothes, you know, cycling the pants, obviously, you know, different shirt each day, or the same shirt, but a new shirt. And then the weekend, I find I've just been wearing the same outfit Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah.
consistently, week after week. So I've worn like, in terms of casual clothes, one pair of jeans and two t-shirts. And that's just been the same for a couple of weeks in a row. Like what need do I have for the other clothes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
to ring
guess
on to
COVID makes
that.
it a bit. COVID makes it different though. I don't have to dress to impress anywhere.
I'm loving that. Hey, like not having to do so much washing. Like, yeah, my usual week attire is like this, and then I normally wear an undershirt, and then I wear like trackies, and I could wear this for the whole week, and then just because like I'm just literally sitting down and like,
Yeah,
and then I'm not having to do washing so much. It's so nice.
it is nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think we covered some beliefs that we have that most people wouldn't have, and yeah, I think we line up as very similar people in a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. So that being
Like
said,
most of our,
I'd
yeah,
love to hear anyone else's any objections to our beliefs or any beliefs of yourself
yeah, hit us
that
up, let us know.
yeah, because yeah, Sam and I are very similar, but we're still different in our own ways. But yeah, we'd
Yeah,
love to hear what you got to say. All right,
exactly.
see you later.